Okay, I'm gonna go over my articles from AndrewComboyForPresident.com quick. You'll notice this picture on there. I was just looking at this in my bookshelf over there one night, okay, and it was upside down, and I was looking at the Greek alphabeta, okay, earlier, and I just noticed that a lot of these words, when you flip the words upside down, like for instance, old, can you see it says pi, and then omega? Okay, that's where I got that. And then I notice it says men. It says men right here. Okay, same thing with right here, men. That's why I keep saying it's men that wrote it. So I'm not trying to knock anybody that, I was hook, line, and sinker. I was Christian, I believed in this stuff, and I just started researching it. So remember, King James, that's a king who published this. So just keep that in mind. And the kings and queens, they correlate with all of our laws. So I'm going to go over blue laws and sky laws. We're going to go over it all. Okay, but this is how I learned. This is why I wrote this article. So I'm going to go over it. I just closed out of it. So new, okay, new means novos in Latin. Okay. Test means you're put on a trial or examination. I'm just pulling it up here. And then amen means fiat or esto. Fiat currency, like money. And there's another term, fiat means here, I'll read it to you. The definition. So this is on AndrewComboyForPresident.com. It's my new test, amen, T article, okay? So new, upside down and backwards mean, if you look at new, that says men, okay? So new in Latin is novus, of what did not exist before, and the recens, of what has only recently come into existence. Novilis, to a person, equals unaccustomed. Insolitus, okay? Then if I just looked up novus, the Latin definition, and it gave me novissimus, Latin, new, fresh, young. And it said milis, a recruit. And then it had the words luna, which I think of as the lunar or the moon. And then Caesar, which I think is the Flavian dynasty. Same with Virgo. Same with Cicero. Okay, so those are the words it gave me in a Latin dictionary. Then the phrase is novos homo, the first of a family to hold a curule. Now I got to look up this word online. Curule. The first, novos homo, the first of a family to hold a curule office in Rome. Example, M.T. Cicero. Okay, then it says novo res, political changes, a revolution. Then it's the names who are in charge of these words. Caesar, Celestius Crispus or Sallus, he was in 86 C to 34 BC, and then Cicero. And then Novae Tabulae, okay, new account books. The cancellation of debts, that's from Cicero. So when have they ever canceled the common folks' debt? Even judges, when have you had your debt canceled? Because they cancel each other's debt, I think every 7 years. The bankers' hours, the money lenders. Okay. Novo taberne, certain money changers, okay, shops in the forum which had been burnt down and rebuilt. Fresh, inexperienced, equis, that's from Cicero. Novelos delictis, inexperienced in crime. Then it says novel, unusual, extraordinary equals genus descende. So that's just from the one word, new. This is what I looked up in the word, just one word. And it's men upside down backwards. Think about that. Okay? That's all the information I decoded just from one word. Now I go to test. Okay? So new test. A trial or examination. Latin. Tempere experiere pericletari explorare or spectere. Okay? So I looked up temptere because that was the first word it gave after test. Temptamen, a trial or an attempt. Like we've been put on trial. Experiere or experior. Okay? To try, test, put to the test, prove, make trial of a person or a thing, to go to law, to leave it to decision by the Roman people. Enterprising, venturesome. Let me say that again. To leave it to a decision by the Roman people. Are you Roman? I'm American, Jack. Okay? With experience. That's experiere. You get that word from the word test, trial or examination. Then next to this said ex persona domini, Latin, from the person of the master. Like there are masters. Generally speaking, by Roman law, contractual rights could not be acquired through free persons who were strangers to the family. But a slave derived a standing to accept a promise to his master's ex persona domini. Bracton says that contracts can be accepted for a principal by his agent. But he starts from the domestic relations and language, very like the Roman jury consults. An obligation may be acquired through slaves or free agents in our power if they take the contract in the name of their master. That's from Oliver Wendell Holmes. His book Agency Part 2 in Collected Legal Papers 81 and 82. Harold J. Lasky edition, 1920. Okay? This is still on the word test. Periclitari, periclatio, trial or experiment. Periclitor, to try, to make trial, venture, to be in danger, to risk, to try, to test, to prove, to endanger or risk, to endanger or risk, okay? And then it says, non est salus periclitanda republicae, okay? Explorer or exploratio, investigation of occulta, Cornelius Tacitus, okay? Let me see that again. Investigation of occult, okay? Spectator, the first four letters of spectator, because I wanted to look this one up differently, is Greek, specta, to look, okay? Are we even looking? Latin, spect or spic, to see. And then the last four letters of spectator, ter, so I looked up spec, then I looked up ter, equals a deficiency in weight or quantity of merchandise resulting from, including its container's weight in the total. All you drug dealers out there, you tear it, okay? Or if the nice dispensaries here. An allowance or abatement of a certain weight or quantity that a seller makes to a buyer because of the container's weight. Now it's kind of like when it's how the money works too. Like if you watch my last video on the Signora, the French, like basically how all of the inflation really started was you started charging for it. You started charging for money. If that makes sense. The Roman people started putting a fee on money even. You know what I mean? So that's why it's bubbled. They're in a huge bubble right now. So that was new. I went over the words, all the words that follow new. That was all the words that follow test. Then I looked up amen, New Testament. Okay? Amen, Latin. Fiat, esto. Amens means mad, insane, senseless, foolish. Amens. That's what that means. Okay? Fiat, Latin, let it be done. An order or decree, especially an arbitrary one. Judicial fiat. A court decree, especially one relating to a routine matter such as scheduling. The court requires all motions to contain a fiat to be filled in by the court, setting the hearing date, also termed fiant. Fiat, justitia, Latin, let justice be done. This phrase signaled the Crown's commission to the House of Lords to hear an appeal. Fiat justia ruet coelum, says another maxim, as full of extravagance as it is of harmony. Go heaven to wreck, so justice be but done. And what is the ruin of the kingdoms in comparison to the wreck of heaven? That's Jeremy Bentham, An Introduction into the Principle of Morals and Legislation, 1314. Pages 13 and 14 from 1823. Okay, then I looked up the word esto. That means in English, be. Okay, and then following that said estop. Okay, to bar or prevent by estoppel. Okay, estoppel. A bar that prevents one from asserting a claim or a right that contradicts what one has said or done before, or what has been legally established as true. A bar that prevents the relitigation of issues. An affirmative defense alleging good faith reliance on a misleading representation. And an injury or detrimental change in position resulting from that reliance. And then it says, see waiver or estop. I didn't look up waiver yet. But I did look up the letter T in the Latin dictionary. This is where it confirmed it for me, okay? The capital letter T, the 19th letter of the Latin alphabet or the Greek alphabet, okay, corresponding to the Greek tau, okay, capital T, lowercase t, for the use of capital T as an abbreviation, see table of abbreviations. So I went there. Capital T, abbreviated T, period, equals Titus. I got this wrong in one of my earlier videos. I said Tiberius. Correction. Let's see how easy it is. Titus, a Roman praenomen, okay? The Emperor Titus Flavius Sabinus Vespasianus, okay? Son and successor of Vespasian, which is the Flavian dynasty, okay? Are you with me? Okay, now letter T, capitalized, is the 20th letter of the English alphabet, meaning to a T, precisely, perfectly. So I asked, why is it the 20th letter of the English and the 19th of the Latin, and then what number is it of the Greek? You know what I mean? So I just started asking all these questions, and now, as you can see, if you just look at the words, the definition of the words, it can take us a lot of different places, and that's how it was designed, okay? So we never agree on anything, okay? And we're constantly hating each other. That's why they created so many words. That's my belief, okay? And then I just looked up the word Bible, okay? I just wrote it down. Let's just take a look at what we break down Bible. Well, Bi is the chemical symbol for bismuth, okay? Also, Bi in Latin means bis, or twice, two, double, okay? And then Ble in Latin means wheat, dough, or cash. Okay, so Bible means, this is why I took it, I put it together, double the cash, double the dough, double the money. So that's how I figured that one out. Then I went to the Greek side of it, beta, iota, beta, lambda, epsilon. That's what I got if you read out the Bible in the Greek alphabet, okay? So that's that. That was Article 1. So I'm going to go start a new video for Article 2 on AndrewConboyforPresident.com. Vote for me. Best president in the league.